Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Marathon. So I got this inspiration, this motivation to do this commentary after school on Friday. I was standing outside in the back waiting for my dad to pick me up. I can't drive. I'm a freshman. I won't be able to get behind the wheel until I'm 16 years and 6 months old. So in about 10 months, I'll finally be able to drive. I can't wait. I'll be able to be more dependent, drive myself to school, drive myself to sporting events, drive myself to friends' houses. But anyways, I was standing out back waiting to get picked up, and there were a couple guys out there. There was a group of about 6 or 8 sophomore guys, and there was also one senior guy. And I've seen this senior around the hallways before, and I do know that he is mentally disabled. He has a disability. I think it's autism. I'm not for sure. I've never really talked to him. I don't know him personally. I've just seen him around my school. He doesn't talk. I've heard him mumble before, and obviously since he can get through academics, it's not a terrible form of autism, but it's still autism, and he's still what you would call not normal, I guess, which is hard to say, but I guess it is true. They're not like, most people that can't really, I'm not sure if they can't think right, but they don't socialize, sometimes they won't walk correctly, they'll make weird noises, but, so he was standing out there, and his mom was picking him up, and she yelled for his name, and he started kind of galloping over to the car, and the sophomore guys, started laughing at him, and it kind of hit me, you would think it'd be normal just for me to kind of jump in and start laughing and giggling about it, because, it did look kind of funny, just because you're not used to really seeing it, and people laugh, people judge others just because a lot of physical appearance and stuff, and I've done it too, I've judged people, I've criticized people just off, little things that I've seen them do without knowing them personally, and it's kind of tough just for them to sit there and laugh at them. It might be easy to laugh at someone when they're disabled, or they have, they're paralyzed, or they can't speak, or they're deaf, or I've seen people laugh at others with Down syndrome and other forms of autism, and you really don't think about it, but if you put yourself in their place, if you, so to say, take a walk in their shoes, it gets a lot different, and you get a whole new perspective. It kind of hits you, and it's like, wow, that must be really tough, and after you think about it, you put yourself in their position, you give yourself autism, or you, if they're not athletic and you make fun of them, and then you put yourself in their position and you make yourself not athletic, and sports is a big thing for you, or you're smart, you're really good academically, and they're not, and you make fun of them, and then you think about it if you weren't blessed academically, and it's tough sometimes. It really kind of hits you like a brick wall, and it really makes you think about things a lot more, and it really makes you respect people more, and that's what I normally do because I've done it before. Everyone does it. They'll laugh at people for this or that. And when I saw this kid with autism kind of galloping around, at first I wanted to laugh, but then I thought about it. Man, what if I was in his position? What if I had autism? That would be really tough. You wouldn't be able to live life like other people can. You wouldn't be able to see, you wouldn't be able to see the sights that other people do. You wouldn't be able to have the same experiences in life that almost everyone else gets to have, and that's just really tough thinking about it. You see I was good friends with, my neighbors had a son who was autistic, and he was very autistic, can't talk at all, he has some trouble moving sometimes, he's just, he can't live like normal people do. He's like 28, and he still has to live with his parents, obviously, he can't live independently, and man, how would it be? Just your whole life being in this dark world where you have no idea what's going on. And I don't know what it's like to be autistic. I don't really look into scientific stuff, and I've never, I'm not autistic, as I know, so I'm not exactly sure what it is, what it's like to be autistic, but that just seems like it would be so tough. And when you put yourself in that kind of a position with such a traumatic, drastic change in condition, and you put that on yourself, your whole perspective changes, and I think a lot of people should kind of take that into mind before they laugh at somebody, because, I've done it before, like I said, but it's really hard to see people laugh at them, and I guess they're lucky. I guess people like me and other people are lucky that they were born normal, they didn't develop a disability, and I'm not just talking about disabled people, I'm talking about any kind of people. If you want to relate it to YouTube, because obviously this is a YouTube video, I've seen larger channels out there that have made fun of smaller channels that have said, come talk to me 20,000 likes later because smaller channels can barely get 5 likes on a video. What they don't think about it is they're blessed to have grown on YouTube, to have the videos made that they did, for them to, grow like they did. They don't think about it, put themselves in a position like a smaller channel that can't grow, and they would probably quit and they wouldn't admit it, but a lot of people do YouTube, and they do stuff in life because they succeed, and without success, it's really hard to, be motivated to keep moving on. So, I think it's really important when you start to think about somebody, or you might laugh at them, or make fun of somebody, which happens all the time, unfortunately. You look left and you look right, and you listen to some conversation for 5 seconds, and a person's name is mentioned in a negative way. And certainly, it's not always negative. There's positives that come about, but for the most part, in today's sinful world, it's almost all negatives, which is really hard to see. And what people don't really think about is just how blessed they are to be quote-unquote normal. Some people have it easier than others. And one of the things about humans is that we jump to conclusions really quickly. You see maybe a person who does drugs, and before you know it, you judge them, you criticize them because they do that. But then you think about it, and then they tell you that maybe I have no parents, I have to make it on my own, I have to make money somehow, and this is just my way out. Maybe you'll feel bad for them. Or say that someone sleeps all the time in school, they never come to school, and you make fun of them for never coming to school, and then they say, well, I have a pretty terminal illness, or I have mono, or some other disease, and things like that, then you really actually start to put things into perspective and really think about it, and I think that's important. And if people can actually do that and respect others, I think things would go a lot more smoothly. So don't be that guy that just judges and criticizes people just because, that's just not a right thing to do. It's horribly wrong, and I think if you put yourself in their position, then you get a whole new perspective on things. So drop a like on this commentary if you did enjoy. If we could hit 100 likes, that would be pretty cool. My name is The Marathon. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.
Now if you feeling how I'm feeling, put your hands up high. If you feeling how I'm feeling, put your lighters in the sky. Y'all be damned if I ain't living the life I always wanted. Started from the bottom as a young and getting blunted. Now I run it like a marathon. Yeah, son.